Jamie and I were married for 7 years before we decided to try for a baby. I just always had that mothering instinct. We were ready to pass on, our love to a little baby. I thought that when I was ready to get pregnant that it would happen just like that. But it took us a little over a year to get pregnant. I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I remembered thinking, I'm about to take a pregnancy test and it's going to change our life because it's going to be positive. And it was positive. He was just so precious and he was screaming his head off. My first thought was, you look just like your daddy. My mom came into the bedroom in the middle of the night and she said, Janet, I think maybe we need to call the hospital and talk to the nurses station about Kayshawn's circumcision site because Jamie and I are a little concerned. Basically, it just wouldn't stop bleeding. That Monday we went, saw his doctor. He just said, guys, y'all are new parents and you just don't know this, but this is not normal. I think about another hour went by and they came back in. They said he has severe hemophilia and he'll always have it. Our second night in our new home, boxes were everywhere, and Jamie was with the baby feeding him on the sofa, and all of a sudden, Kayshawn spit up really bad. Jamie said, I think he may have thrown up and not spit up. And so we took him to urgent care. They said, we're positive that this is a virus, but just to be on the safe side, we're going to send you down to Children and Women's Hospital. We were basically told, you're new parents, this is just a virus, and we were sent home. And so that evening was pretty rough. He cried all night long, and by the next morning, he wouldn't even open his eyes. I just had a feeling we needed to get him to a doctor. They literally glanced at him and called an ambulance. I remember the ambulance ride so clear. I could see Jamie following us, and I was holding the baby. And I just remembered thinking, I haven't seen his eyes since yesterday. And that was the first moment I thought, oh my goodness, could this be something to do with hemophilia? We whisked him back to the CT area. I did not have to be a medical person to see that CT scan and know that something was very wrong. Kayshawn's entire right side of his brain was filled with blood. Dr. Richardson just clapped and he said, all right, let's get him prepped back to surgery now. It's a brain bleed. All of a sudden, looked up and over at Kayshawn being prepped to go back to surgery, and they were putting him to sleep. The anesthesiologist came to us and said, you need to prepare yourself. And I just said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you just need to prepare yourself that he might not come through this. Jamie and I just cried. I really remembered having a hard time praying myself. I really just realized that Satan had tried to steal a lot of our joy as new parents. What we went through was traumatic, but we couldn't allow him to keep stealing our joy. It was time for us to stand up and just stand on the word. He came through surgery with 3 transfusions during surgery. He's a little over 2 years old, and he is spunky. He keeps me very busy, to say the least. When he went back to be reviewed by his neurologist, he was shocked. He's like, there's really no need for you to come back again. And when we went back to see his neurosurgeon, he was shocked. And he's like, there's really no reason for you to come back. Bad things happen sometimes, but God is still good. Every time I'm in a worship service, I find myself singing to him, "You're good, you're always good." I'm Janet, and this is my story.